Hey everybody, it's Michael Forney with the Fido Arts and Practices / FIDOgroupe podcast video edition. Today we're talking about an experience I had that kind of led to, well, it really did lead to the creation of our work emphasis with regard to entrepreneurs who are members of the Black community, who are female entrepreneurs, who are veterans and members of the LGBTQ community. A couple of years ago, and this also relates to a video that's on a photo that's on our website of a sunrise over the wing of a jet. And this happened back a couple of years ago. I was in Atlanta on a trip, and I was staying with some friends, and I had a very early flight back to Seattle, and they were going to get up and try and fit getting me to the airport into their morning schedule. And I said, just drop me off at night. I'll go hang out at the airport. Not the first time that's ever happened, and it's probably not going to be the last time that ever happens. So they got me to the Atlanta airport, which is generally one of the most busy airports in the world. But boy, in the middle of the night, there is nothing going on there. I cleared security, and if you've ever been there, you know that it's got that long underground train that takes you out to your concourse, and I was the only person on that train. And my thought was, what happens if this thing stops for the night and I'm stuck on it? Fortunately, I got out to my concourse, which was Concourse C. I was hoping there would be food or a coffee shop or something open, but there wasn't. There was nothing available. So I just made my way to my gate and sat down and took out my laptop and started doing some work. It was eerily quiet except for cleaning crews. There was one guy at the gate sitting in a wheelchair looking at his laptop with the headphones on, doing, just watching music videos. And so I worked for a couple hours, and somewhere around 2 a.m., some guy from the cleaning crew came up and he sat down kind of across from me and down a couple of seats. And he struck up conversation, and I was trying to work, and he wasn't taking the clue that I was trying to work. So I just closed up my laptop and engaged with him in a conversation. And he started telling me his life story about how he had been in construction and had several accidents and had died once or twice or maybe more, I don't recall the exact number, and been brought back to life. And about how he had a grandson, and it just wasn't easy. The relationship with his son and daughter-in-law wasn't easy, and it was just a long conversation. At some point, he decided that he was going to bring in the third party sitting at the gate, and he kept motioning him over. And finally, the guy kind of surrendered to the eventuality that he was going to be part of this conversation, and stood up out of the wheelchair and walked over and sat in the next row of seats that's backs were to me, but he kind of turned and, we were sitting triangular so he could see everybody, and we talked for a while. At some point, the worker from the airport announced that he had to get back to work, which was expected. And it left the two of us talking, and we talked for a good time, just getting to know each other. He was a music producer. I think he lived in the Bronx and been traveling with his wife and child to Florida, and they missed their flight, and as will happen, had to reschedule. And we just were chatting, and as it got to be closer into the morning hours, or later into the morning hours, his wife walked around the corner from the gate and sat down next to him. She had been sleeping there with their son, and she joined the conversation. And we talked about our lives and what we did, and she asked about what I did, and I started telling her, as a consultant for startups. And I mentioned that it was kind of my goal to work with certain communities of entrepreneurs that really don't get any help and any assistance from the professionals, because there's generally not a lot of money tied in with it. And, you need to make money and you need to have the big clients. But, and again, I mentioned to her that specifically I wanted to work with entrepreneurs who were women, who were Black, who were members of the LGBTQ community, and who are veterans. And we talked for a while, and then they said, well, we need to get to our gate, but it was great talking to you. And the woman said, I really hope you get to do the work that you want to do with these communities, because when you were talking about it and telling us about it, there was a light on your face. Now, generally, it's been my experience, as someone would say, your face lit up, or you got excited, or you brightened up. But she said there was a light on my face. And that has stuck with me for years, because it was just such an odd way to phrase that, at least to my ear. And it implies something, too, that's almost otherworldly. There's a light on your face. It's almost kind of a biblical type of thing. And that just kind of stuck with me. We boarded, and I had a window seat, and that's where the picture came from. We were flying northwest up to Seattle, and I could see the sun rising over the tip of the wing, and it just was a beautiful picture. And it kind of had a message with the aircraft in there and the travel. So I took the picture, and it's just become one that, because of the orangish color and it fits our website, and because I love the picture and the story that goes with it, we use it and try and keep it in a lot of our media. So I got home to Seattle, was dead tired, got into bed, but I just could not sleep. There was something that was just keeping me awake. It was just rolling and tossing, and it was just bothering the heck out of me. And so I got up and I jumped in my shower, and it kind of dawned on me that what was bothering me was her statement about the light shining on me. And it really set off a series of discussions and deep conversations with people about, could this be something that was akin to a calling? And as the business grew and I brought in partners, we kind of have focused on that, because it's a very important sector of the entrepreneurship community, and it doesn't really get a lot of attention, and it doesn't get a lot of help, because people in the entrepreneurship community want to invest in something that's going to be a big hit. And a lot of times these businesses aren't initially going to be big hits, but they serve a very useful purpose to the community they're in. And so we have decided that is something we really want to focus on, and we really want to work in that community. So that's the story of what I call 0200 Concourse C, 0200 of course being 2 a.m. and Concourse C being where I was when I had that conversation. And it still is an emotional and personal subject to me, and is something that we really, really want to find people to work with. So my call to you is, if you are a member of one of those communities and you have an entrepreneurship idea and you need help and assistance creating that idea and bringing it to life, please go to FIDOgroupe.com, FIDOgroupe.com, and look at what we offer and our resources, and reach out to us. There's a contact form there. Unfortunately, as is the case so much today, it generates a lot of spam, but we do check that, and trying to keep in touch with clients and people who are reaching out to us. And I really would encourage you to do that. If you are in one of those groups of people I mentioned, and you really have an idea that you're passionate about and that you want to pursue, please contact us. We'd be excited to talk to you and to figure out how we can work together and get this started. So again, the website is FIDOgroupe.com, FIDOgroupe.com, and read what it is we have there, what our information about ourselves and our practice and what we do. And if you're still interested, get to that contact box and reach out to us. So thank you very much for listening again today, or watching as it is. And I look forward to hopefully hearing from some of you about how we can help you and how we're going to get this all going. Have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.